Okay guys, before we head out for the day, I just wanted to give an update on a previous video in which I mentioned that I picked up a PS2 which wasn't working. Well, it was working, but it wasn't really reading disc properly. So I opened it up and had I'll say I recalibrated the laser because that sounds more impressive. But basically I just wanted to show you that I have got it working and I'm pretty stoked with what I picked up. So this is the PS2 that you saw. It's looking, fairly clean. It's what's in there. You can hear it start up. So just wanted to show you guys that, if you do pick these things up, read some how-tos. Just have a look online because even though it may not work when you first get it, don't dump it. Just have a play around because you can end up with something like this. So as you can see, it reads discs. And I'm pretty stoked with that. It fires up every time. I haven't had any issue picking anything up, picking any games to play with it. As you can see, I've got Vice City in there, one of my favorite GTA games. So yeah, pretty stoked. So we're back at the tip shop again today. We had some good luck picking up some cool VHS tapes and stuff last week, so interested to see what they got this week. Because last time we went here, we went on a Sunday, so I don't know how they go with inventory-wise, whether they load up on a Saturday and stuff gets cleaned out, and then, it's whatever the leftovers are on Sunday, so keen to see how this place is going. Okay guys, so I've hit up the tip shop and had a pretty good haul there. We've been to another Vinnie's, Salvo's, and we hit up an RSPCA charity shop. And overall I've got a good mix of stuff. Got some comics, videos, and books. So all in all, it's a good variety of stuff, which I'm pretty keen to share with you. Just about to hit up another Lifeline and Salvo's, and we've got a Cashies still to hit up as well, so I'll check back with you soon. So these are all the goodies we've got so far. Off to the last spot, and then we're going to go home and check it all out. We're back now from our long day out. As you can see here, not that you can tell what I've got, but we've got a massive haul to go through. I spent more than I was anticipating on spending, but I found a bunch of cool stuff, so I'm pretty excited to go through it, and I'll catch you guys in the other room. So it's a little later now. I'm ready to go through all the items that I picked up. There's a bunch of stuff to go through, and let's just get into it. I'll start off with our first stop of the day, which was the tip shop. I went there the other week, which I've showed in a previous video, and had some okay success. I think I did a little better today, so I'm pretty stoked about that, but I'll just show you some of the stuff I got. Firstly, I picked up these two Where's Wally VHS tapes, volume 1 and 6. I definitely already have both of these, but they're the different release. I started off picking up these ones, which I have most of the volumes. I think I'm missing volume 5. But yeah, these are the VHS tapes I remember as a kid. My granddad had them at his place. So that's why I was going after these ones, because I have nostalgic value for these. These two I don't, but being that I was wearing my Where's Wally shirt today, I thought it was fitting that I rescue these from the tip shop for 50 cents. And surprisingly, they're both in very good nick. So yeah, can't complain with 50 cents a piece. Following on from my last trip to the tip shop, I found another well, this is volume 1 of Sonic X, so to go along with the last volume that I picked up, so that was $1, so can't complain with that. I thought this was unusual to find there. Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai. I'm a big Turtle fan, as you may know from some of my other videos. Usagi crosses over in the series and even in the current TV series. Looks to be like an ex-library copy. It's not a decent nick because it's sort of got, it's laminated with tags that I can't remove, but that's more just for reading, so for a couple of bucks that was definitely a good pickup for me. Next item I picked up, I was surprised to find this, and this is pretty awesome. The Class of Nuke 'Em High, the Trauma trilogy. I'm a big Trauma fan, I'm a big horror fan. If you've watched my Toxic Crusaders review, I mentioned that I'm a big Toxic Crusader, Toxic Avenger fan, so this rolls in with that. This looks to be the US NTSC release, so I don't have these films on DVD, so to pick them up for a couple of bucks, the complete trilogy, and it's in super good nick. It doesn't even look like it has been watched, so that was awesome to find there. Next thing, again, if you've seen my KB's thoughts on records, I'm definitely a record fan. I don't have a massive collection, but I do like to pick up items. I picked up this version of Cocktail. It's in a nice new sleeve, so it probably looks better nick than it is. It was only 10 cents. It has some surface scratches, but I just gave it a play on my record player, and it seems to play okay. It's a bit of popping and hissing, but that's to be expected for something that's being dumped at the tip. For 10 cents, I thought that was cool. You would also probably noticed from my video that I have a thing for soundtracks. I feel like the Batman and the Ninja Turtles and the Gremlins soundtracks, there's just something cool about them. So I can't say I'm a huge Cocktail fan, but I don't know, there's just some good songs on there by some good artists, and it's just a bit of cool pop culture fun for 10 cents. Can't complain. The next thing I was surprised to pick up, again, I haven't unwrapped this yet, but 2 Wii remotes and a Wii charger for 10 bucks. Now, the thing about these, I'm going to rip them open, so excuse the noise. The thing about them is they look a little gross at the moment. They've removed the original battery casings and they put in these rechargeable ones. So they're not corroded, which is good. They're both in good nick. I'll have to try them out later to see if they work. But for 10 bucks, can't complain with that. I'll probably just buy some replacement housings for these, just to make them, you know, look nice again and clean them up because they're pretty dirty. But yeah, I was surprised to find that at the tip shop. I'm not a big fan on aftermarket chargers and stuff. I generally don't use them. But yeah, $10, I'm not going to complain with that. So that does it for the tip shop portion. The next thing I'll go on to is I went to like a Christian charity shop, and then we went to an RSPCA charity shop. I wasn't expecting much here, but I picked up a couple of cool items, so I'll show you those. Now, I picked up this copy of Spy vs. Spy for a couple of bucks. I don't know what this game is like. I like Spy vs. Spy. I loved the original version on NES back in the day. I used to play it with a friend of mine a fair bit. If this is anything like that, that's awesome. If it's just a versus mode, that should be fun. So it's in good nick. The case is a bit busted, but the disc and the manual is there. So for a couple of bucks, that was a cool find. I picked up this little Donald Duck Bendham. It looks brand new. It's in good condition. This is more something I'll pick up just to sit on my shelf. I think that was a buck or two. I just thought he was cool looking, and that'll be something that you probably see on the shelf in one of my videos in the future. I like Donald Duck. Donald Duck's cool. The next couple of items is what I got from the RSPCA charity store. I've mentioned these in a video before, Animorphs. I didn't actually read Animorphs as a kid. I know how popular it was. It just never really grabbed me. There was a TV show as well. I sort of picked these up for curiosity's sake now that I'm a bit older, just to see what it's like. This is the first issue, which I think was cool to grab, and issue 20, I shouldn't say issue, book 1 and book 28. So that was just a couple of bucks. I do have ideas. I wouldn't mind sort of covering this in some sort of video in the future. So Animorphs. I also picked up the Getaway from the RSPCA shop, the Platinum version. It's in good nick. It's got the manual. Again, it was a couple of dollars, so can't complain. The next thing I found from the RSPCA shop was this Sonic comic from 1994. Sonic was actually one of the first comic books that I read besides the Ninja Turtle comics that got me into comic books as a kid. I'm not a hardcore comic book fan these days. I still enjoy reading certain stuff. But yeah, I thought this for a buck was cool. It's in okay condition. It's not great or anything, but it seems from what I've seen online, it seems like there's a fairly hardcore fan base for Sonic comics. So that was just something cool that I found. Following on from the Sonic comics, some more comics I found that was pretty awesome from a Vinnie's was 5 trade paperbacks of Constantine Hellblazer. I really like Constantine. I like the Vertigo stuff. So to pick up all these, which I don't have, for I think they were $4 each. They're not in top condition, but as something just to read, I was super happy to find those. And I've never really seen... I've seen random comics floating around at the op shops and stuff, but I've never really seen trade paperbacks. And when I have, it's usually stuff I'm not interested in. So to find Constantine was awesome, because besides sort of Swamp Thing, Constantine would have to be one of my favorite comic series that isn't a Ninja Turtles series. So that's super awesome. Next item I picked up was Robin Hood soundtrack and storybook from 1973. It's pretty good condition for the age of it. What I thought was unique and cool about it was that it comes with a little, you know, built-in storybook. And yeah, it's just a really awesome piece to have. I mentioned just before, talking about Cocktail, I like soundtracks, so this fits right into that category. And being Walt Disney, it's just an awesome piece to have. So yeah, that was $4 as well. I don't know, I have no idea of the value on something like that, but I was really stoked to find that. It's a different item. I don't have any Disney record stuff, so that is cool. Again, from Lifeline, I was actually looking for another PS2 controller after picking up the fat black PS2 that I fixed up a couple of weeks ago. So to find a controller in decent nick for $5, that was a no-brainer to grab that. Because I've been looking online for them, and for some reason PS2 controllers, they're generally going for like $20-30, which seems a little crazy to me. So I'll pick those up for $5 any day. So this is the last batch of stuff, which is pretty cool. This is all stuff that I picked up from Cash Converters. I wasn't expecting to find much there, since I went there the other week and sort of they didn't really have much that I was looking for. So let's get into that. First off, I got this really good condition boxed Wii Fit. For people watching my op shop videos, they're probably wondering why I'm picking up Wii Fit boards, since they're basically worth nothing. I just thought this box was in really good nick. It comes with the feet in there, which are still in the packaging. So it's just really cool. It was only $5, so just to upgrade the one I've got to put it in a nice box is a cool little collector's item. So not a huge pickup, but I thought that was pretty cool. What's also funny on there is it's got the original JB Hi-Fi price on there of $150, which is crazy to think that people were paying $150 for these when they came out. So following on from the previous video where I picked up the fat PS2, I picked up a second silver one. So this came with all the cords and a controller for $29, I think. Not an amazing price, but I was pretty happy with it, because as I mentioned just before about the controllers, they go for like $20-30 online. So to pick it up for that price, I think it's worth it for the accessories alone. The one thing about it is the tray is missing the front cover, which is a little disappointing, but I fired it up and it works perfectly fine. And it's in fairly decent nick. It's got a couple of dings, but other than that, it was cool to pick up the silver model. So yeah, I was happy with finding this. Next item, I've actually been looking for one of these for a little while now, and that's the 25th anniversary Mario Red Wii. I think the red looks awesome. I have seen very few of the... Actually, I haven't seen any when I've been out and about. So to pick this up with the controller and everything for $25, I think was a great deal. Because online these go for higher than the standard Wiis and the black Wii. So it's a good deal, especially to come with the controller and the original, you know, all the gear that comes with it. Because I've seen online, even just the red controller itself, the red Wii Motion Plus controller, I've seen it sell for 30 bucks. So to pick this up for 25 with the controller and all the cords, that's an awesome deal. I'm glad to add this to my Wii collection. The last pickup for the day, I was surprised to find this. They actually had a couple of these, and that was the PS1, the mini PlayStation 1. A while ago I was looking for one. I didn't realize, because I never had one, how small they are. It's in good nick. I haven't played it yet, but I assume it's going to work fine coming from Cash Converters. They generally test all their stuff before they put it out. So it came with the controller, all the cords. So 25 bucks for the PS1. Super happy to find that. So guys, that does it for my op shop pickups for this week or this month. As I mentioned earlier, I spent way more than I was expecting to, but it's all good stuff. I'm really happy with what I got. Let me know in the comments or feedback on my Facebook page or whatever, just what your thoughts are on this series. Op shopping is something that I would be doing anyway, so to be able to go along and document it, let you guys know my thoughts on different items that I pick up and just different things that I have interest in or that I collect. It's cool to just give different tidbits of information. So your feedback, whether you think I overspent for what I picked up or whether I got a great deal, just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of whatever I produce next. Thanks guys.